If you don't know what to create for content, then you don't have a business, because content is just an extension of what's up here in your brain. You're literally just articulating value to your audience just like you would any of your customers. You don't need to have 80,000 different thoughts to push out to the marketplace. A lot of times I think that it's not about telling somebody something new that they haven't thought of before, but it's actually just reiterating and reminding them of something that they already know in a different way and in different contexts. What's going on? We are live here, and today we're going to be talking about social media, some marketing stuff. I want to dig into those service-based businesses that have a badass founder that's leading the charge, somebody that probably started the business on their own, maybe with one employee, and you have rapidly grown, and maybe now you have 4 or 5 employees. But you know what? It's time to match the level of service that you deliver with your clients to your online brand to start driving some customers and really build up that credibility online. Maybe it's amongst a younger demographic even. So let's talk about how we can get it done. The first question that I'm always getting, and I'm going to start almost every single episode just like this, is how frequently should I post? And I think that we need to ask ourselves, how fast do we want to grow? What are our goals? Because if our goals are to grow rapidly and grow our follower base and figure out what works, then we've got to be posting every day, if not a couple times a day. When you post in quantity and quality, you get great results. And I think a lot of people are hesitant to do this in different phases of business for a multitude of excuses. When they're early on in their business, they say, well, I just don't have the time because they're so busy with everything else. And then they use the excuse of, well, I don't have the money, because they don't have the money. They just started their business. And the other thing is, well, I don't know what to talk about. We can break down each and every single one of those, and I'm going to do each one in literally 15 seconds. I don't have the time. Yes, you do. You have time to eat, sleep, watch Netflix, do all those things. You have time to create a 15, 30 second, 45 second post giving some value to your audience. You have time to create content. I don't have the money. You don't need the money. You can do it on your own to start. You're a business owner. That's what comes with the job. You have to do a lot on your own when you first start off. And I get it, because I'm editing my own content right now, even though I have a team. They're busy doing the servicing for our clients, so I have to handle our own marketing. And that's okay. That comes with the job. Then the third one is, well, I don't know what to create. If you don't know what to create for content, then you don't have a business, because content is just an extension of what's up here in your brain. You're literally just articulating value to your audience just like you would any of your customers. Tell them what you're doing for customers and what you can do for them. Try to bring some sort of value. So I just disproved each and every single one of those excuses amongst business owners that are first starting. Let's pivot over to the business owners that have established businesses that are now trying to grow. How often should you be posting? Every day or a couple times a day? The reason I say that is because you have so much going on. If you're an established business owner, you have so much opportunity for content creation, and that should go, and that should be utilized. And that should absolutely be utilized, because how many conversations do you have throughout the day? How much cool shit are you doing throughout the day, whether it's running your team or going and servicing clients? All those are gold opportunities to show your audience what you're up to so you can build up that audience. And I want to bring an example of a business owner that we're working with right now that we've gotten really, really good results for, especially over the past 2 weeks. They're an electrician, and they have built $1 million business within the first 2 years of being in business. I think it's actually 1.5 years. So they're constantly on jobs. So what we're doing for them is every single week, we're going out to their highest priority job and basically recording them at that job. And by us doing that over the last 2 months, we just had a video that hit over 850,000 views on YouTube, and it did over 100,000 views on TikTok. So following yourself as you're doing the things that you're doing and showing your audience your expertise and showing them what you're up to, it does a few things. Number one, it shows off your expertise in what you do. Number two, it shows people that you're busy, aka establishing credibility. If you want to get something done, give it to somebody who's busy. The busier you are, the more people want to work with you, because they want to work with people that are doing business. It's a basic supply and demand thing. I would think of it like FOMO. If people see that the demand is high for your product and you're constantly going, then that increases their perception of value of your service, because if other people want it, then I want it too. It's that basic concept. So when you show people that you're constantly busy and doing things, they're more likely to want to work with you. And the third thing here is you're staying top of mind. The more you are in people's minds, the more likely they are to reach out to you, set a meeting with you, and send business your way and send referrals your way, or just start up a conversation with you. The next kind of phase of things that I see when it comes to business owners that have already established their businesses and are thinking about digging into content creation for one reason or another is they don't know what to talk about, or they're afraid to oversaturate their thoughts. And I want to, again, disprove both of those things because they are valid, but we want to get creative, right? We want to make sure that we're constantly staying top of mind and we're posting content. So if you don't know what to talk about, I truly challenge you just to document your day. Hire a videographer to follow you around, or if you don't want to hire a videographer, take out your camera and record yourself doing things. The other way to do it is just flipping around the camera, and when a thought pops into your head, get used to just documenting it. Literally just pull out your camera and record, hey, this is the thought that I just had. What do you guys think about it? This is what I think about it. Here's a quick story. It can be 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can stutter a couple times. It's okay. But just them hearing your thoughts, you're out there. You're staying top of mind. That's the goal. So you have so much to be able to document when it comes to what to talk about. Now, the secondary thing to this is, well, I don't want to oversaturate the marketplace with my thoughts. You don't need to have 80,000 different thoughts to push out to the marketplace. A lot of times I think that it's not about telling somebody something new that they haven't thought of before, but it's actually just reiterating and reminding them of something that they already know in a different way and in different contexts. What are some of the core pillars of who you are and within your business? What are some philosophies and some things that you are constantly hounding on and telling people over and over again? Those are the messages that you should be sharing, just in different ways, shapes, and forms. So if you have this philosophy, let's say you're an electrician and one of your core values is safety first always. You don't need to just go on there and say, always be safe when you're playing with electrical work. You never want to shock yourself because there can be huge health problems that come with that. Well, how about we switch it up based on different demographics? If I'm talking to the 20 to 25-year-old that's looking to be an apprentice, if you're looking to be an apprentice getting into the electrician work, then make sure to always wear gloves. You never want to shock yourself because if you do that, it can lead to workers' comp and all this other crap. I don't know if that's accurate, but there you go. Let's say that you're talking to a 45-year-old that's thinking about doing his own electrical work in his home without hiring an electrician. Before you decide to go and do your own electrician work, before you decide to go and mess with your own electrical, be careful of electrocuting yourself. Here are 3 ways to avoid electrocuting yourself and causing massive health problems in your 40s. Boom. You just reiterated the same message in 2 different ways to 2 different audiences. So don't think about, oh, I don't want to oversaturate my message. It's different every time based on who you're talking to. And you can say the same message over and over again if you just delay it a little bit as well. Let's say that you said it this week, say it again next week. Remind your audience that this is something that's important to me and associate a different story to it. Say it a little bit differently. Switch it up. Because here's the secondary part of that I think is super important. Not every single one of your audience members is going to see that message that you post. It's going to get out to new people every single time. And yes, it will get in front of some of the same people, but if it's getting in front of those people and they're double clicking it, then that probably means that they appreciate the reminder. So don't get in your head and don't hold yourself back from posting that content. So that kind of answers the questions of how often should I post and what do I post about? Vlog sessions and thoughts in your mind. That's it. But let's say that because we have a business that is scaling, we want to amplify it even more and we want to start getting out in front of more people that we can sell our product to. Maybe we have a secondary product that's either more expensive or less expensive to enter a new market. Let's talk about how we can do that through our content. Let's say that we've established this core base of content where we're posting our thoughts, vlogging our day-to-day, and doing that sort of activity, and we're getting some attention. Now that we've gotten that attention and we've kind of built a good audience, we want to go for an ask. We want to do a right hook, or we want to do an ad to target people to actually generate some leads. How can we do this? And this is how I would execute. I would look at the last month of content that I produced if I posted every single day, and I would look for the piece of content that's performed the best. This is also why it's so important to test up different styles of content so you have more data to pull from. I would look at that data set of the past 30 days and I would look at what piece of content performed the best. Okay, why did it perform the best? What content format was it in? Was it a selfie style video? Was it a day in the life video? Was it a carousel? Was it a picture post? What was it? And then when I'm doing this right hook, what I would do is I would literally steal the same format and I would change it to be more of an ask. So let's say I posted a selfie style video where I was talking about, let's go with a construction manager. Let's go with a contractor, right? Let's say I'm targeting to work with, let's say I'm hiring somebody actually. Let's go a little bit different, right? Let's say I'm hiring somebody and I'm asking somebody if they want to be hired. I did a selfie style video where I walked through one of my projects. What I would do if I was trying to hire somebody and that was my ask, I would record a video and I would say, walking through this project right now, it's 50,000 square feet and we are about 3 weeks out. What's really cool about this project is the team is what allowed us to get it done. And I am looking to hire a new team member to help us get even better results. Here's a breakdown of what comes with the job. If you're interested in joining a badass team that works on projects like this, DM me. Boom, that's simple. So I looked at a post that performed well, and then I'm copying the same format, just changing up the message and turning it into a right hook. An important note on this is your right hooks will almost never get the same traction as your value-based posts will, because value-based posts are more edged in entertainment or dive into more entertainment and education, things that people are more interested in. When you're asking people for something, people don't want to be asked for something. I would rather somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, you want a free gold piece?" versus, "Hey, you want to come and buy this free gold piece?" Totally different, and it comes off differently, right? So when you're giving, it's going to be received differently than when you're asking, and less people are going to be interested, but that's okay. Not everybody needs to be interested when you're asking. So be okay with less views when you ask and don't think that it doesn't work. It's over time that it starts to affect the end result. So if you're looking to drive some business, that's how I would do it, especially if you're doing it on your own. Now, let's say that we decide to go a little bit deeper into this process. And this is really me getting into my headspace here because I'm not even taking notes right now. I'm not even looking at notes and I didn't even really prepare for this. I'm just going based on my own knowledge set and what we're working on right now. If I was really trying to drive extra leads to my business after I've established that audience base, I would then put together some sort of calendar on how often I want to be doing right hooks. So, and right hooks is what we call the ask, aka the sell or the ad. And this is how I would do it. After posting for 30 days, I would look at the best performing piece of content and I would choose the 3 best performing pieces of content. And if I was posting one time a day, twice a week for the next 4 weeks, I would be posting an organic ad. The same format that I just gave to you, where you look at your best performing content, rework it, and do it as a right hook rather than a give post. But instead of just reworking it and doing it as a give post, I would actually start to play around with different styles of content in my ad as well. So I might do some sort of skit where I literally prep it out and I write a script for what I want to happen and do some different types of things. So let's say that I know that I've been scrolling on Instagram and I've been seeing and what I've been seeing a lot recently actually, or about 2 months ago, let's say, is when you had a kind of viral hook where it was a totally different video and then the kind of like action would happen and then it would flip to you to you doing something. So let's say that somebody like fell off a roof and right when they hit the ground, it would flip and you would like fall on the ground or something and then you'd go straight from there. So it acts as a hook. And that right there, you could throw in some of that fun stuff, some of that different stuff that you don't normally do in your content. And I would probably do that once a week, some of that fun stuff that's going on and trending on social media. And then I would do one post based on the overperforming posts on social media. And every time that you're doing an ask, try to drive them to your lead magnet. So when you're asking somebody to go do something, make sure that it's clear in your bio on, hey, here's how you get what you want. So drive them to some sort of lead magnet where you're giving them something in return rather than just asking directly for the sale. Always give when you're doing an ask, which is kind of an interesting concept, but it's what I suggest. And this book right here, $100 Million Leads, goes over it in its lead magnet section, where you're basically providing a free thing in exchange for contact information in order to drive some leads. So that is how I would execute building up an audience, starting to post content that starts to get some results from a lead base. And that's kind of the basic strategy that I would follow. And it's the one that we've actually utilized for some of our clients and gotten really, really good results. That's the high level breakdown. And I'd say that if there's one more tip that I would give to anybody on this, it would be to hire a team. Because without hiring a team, this stuff becomes 10 times more difficult from a consistency standpoint. And if I'm really getting serious about this, I would suggest hiring a team, which would include a videographer and a video editor for you, or a content creator for you. I would hire those two positions, or an agency that does both. That way you can keep up the consistency. But what I would add on to that is your own content as well. Because when you get more invested into your content, you're going to get better results. So post your own content, do your own selfie style stuff, do your own kind of day in the life stuff, and then have your content team post every single day for you. Yours is just supplementary. And I think that's when the results are going to blow up. And as a busy business owner, I know that it can be really hard to be able to dedicate the time, especially when you're also putting money towards a team like that. But I'm going to tell you, when you put the extra time in to post the content, get the good results yourself, and an extra layer, respond to the comments, it's going to help you build a tighter community. And that's going to allow you to scale so much faster and drive results so much faster from a business result standpoint, aka driving leads and dollars for your business. So take the time to record a couple videos and post them yourself. Take the time to respond to your comments. Think of the consumer first. Think of the people that you're posting the content for first, rather than just what you can get from them. And I think those are probably the main keys to being successful with your content. If you're a business owner that already has a team that started on your own and now you've scaled to 4 or 5 people maybe, and you have some cash to spend. That is the strategy that I would follow, and those are my tips for you. If you guys found this episode interesting, or if you have any questions, please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below any questions that you have that you'd like to see me answer on the next one. I'm going to start answering questions on each one of these so I can get a little bit more specific and connect with you guys more. So if you guys have any of those questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. I appreciate you, and I'll see you later. Peace.